Welsh, but outside, but there is a lot of activism, and many people who sit in jail are subject to night raids, etc. Under the Zionist regime, who try to show their solidarity with the Palestinians. But in England, Canada, they made many trips to Arabic lands and voiced our opinions over there in the Muslim countries, Malaysia, Turkey, Iran. They've been to Gaza a few times. So this is a political movement which is quite active, very active. What's your name? Nachum Yehuda.
Is there something specific, that you're here today to call out the Democrats? Is it here to, what specifically are you calling for today?
We specifically want to thank the Democrats for their sincere interest to try to help the Jewish people, but it's misled understanding that support of the Zionist state, of the state of Israel, is supporting Jewish people. In actuality, it is to the detriment of the Jewish people to support the Zionist state. And if they wish to support the Jewish people, and to help the Jewish people, the way to help them is to find a peaceful dissolve the state, which is the Zionist state, which is the root cause of the conflict in Palestine, which has been the root cause not just since October 7th, since the 1920s when the Zionists began to make their intrusions in Palestine. They've been the root cause of the conflict, and that's the only solution that it will bring a permanent peace to the region and to the world, because it doesn't only affect the Jewish people there and the Jewish people worldwide negatively, very, very negatively. And it affects the rest of the world very, very negatively. The conflict brings a tremendous negative repercussions to the world, and certainly to the Palestinian people there and worldwide. And so therefore, the help to Jewish people would be, as I said, it's not a two-state solution, it's not a one-state solution, it's not a two-state solution, it's the restoration of Palestine to its indigenous populace with justified financial restitution, and we will once again see with the peace that was once between Jewish people and the Muslim and the Islamic and the Muslim people, where there was no conflict of religious conflict, and there isn't today any religious conflict, and we live side by side in Palestine for hundreds of years.
Free Palestine!
And we'll see once again that peace that we enjoyed once more. And the rest of the world will benefit from it too.
Real quickly, please, folks, if you are a speaker, we need to do a check-in with the stage managers. Please come behind the stage in the green fenced area to do a check-in with the stage managers if you are a speaker. Thank you all.
Might oppose what I'm saying is because of a fear-mongering tactic that the Zionists use to redefine the conflict between the Palestinians and the Israelis from being a political conflict to being a religious conflict. That the Zionist narrative is that it's a religious conflict, and they say to the Jewish people that it's another Hitler, another Holocaust that's going to come upon you that they wish to perpetuate, God forbid. And in reality, and that strikes a panic into every Jewish heart, which is so sensitive to that matter. And therefore it galvanized the Jewish people under erroneous pretenses to support the state of Israel and to view anybody who opposes or stands in opposition to them as self-hating Jews, a Jew who does that, as a self-hating Jew, as a traitor. But if they would stop, they'll just stand back and study this subject from its outset and throughout, and to see the truth of how the Zionist movement and the state of Israel has nothing to do with Judaism. Zionism is a political nationalism. Judaism is a religion which is subservient to the belief in God, and nothing else. Is not a trace of political nationalism in Judaism. And Zionism is cruel. Judaism is kind. Zionism is godless. Judaism is godly. And realize that the Zionist movement and their state is to the greatest detriment for themselves, to the Jewish people themselves, for their own Jewish identity, and for their own Jewish well-being, their own personal safety and well-being, because they are the ones, the Zionists are the ones which are fomenting the conflict. And therefore, they could stand back and reanalyze and see the truth. Of course, you'd have to try to dig deep under a mountain of misinformation that is perpetuated by the Zionists, decades of propaganda. You go to the website nkusa.org and read a little bit about it, and then don't have to rely on what's written over there. Go back to the sources and read where those sources are, and see how the Jewish people, led by the rabbinic authority, opposed the Zionists and the creation of their state from its nascence. The Zionism was from its nascence in the late 1800s, and then later when they had their ambitions to create a state, had the body of the Jewish people vehemently battled against them. And tragically, over the decades, confusion has set in by misinformation, misleading, and as I said before, tactics of fear-mongering, fear tactics, it makes it impossible for a person to think clearly. It makes it impossible. Person, wakes you up in the middle of the night and screams fire. You don't start looking in your manual to think, what should I do with the fire? You start running and scrambling. Even it might be contrary logic. You can't think at that moment. And that's what's going on. And if they could stop and believing the fear-mongering of the Zionists, first of all, and to realize that it's not a religious conflict, it's a political conflict. And the Zionists are not good for you, but for the Jewish people. They're bad for the Jewish people. They are the ruination of the Jewish people, both from a religious perspective and from a safety perspective. Then I think they will reevaluate and will automatically desist to support and join the galvanization, join the masses of people which are befuddled by that confusion to support the Zionist state and Zionism.
Do you intend to vote in November, and do you have any idea?
Jewish people, and then specifically NK, the Turi Carter International, are not political. We're not a political entity. We're not political activists. We're here to voice the Jewish view, the Jewish religion. So I don't get into political. That's more of a political question. If it's okay, I could sidestep the question.
Where are you from?
I'm from Indiana. There are some people here from